up, Gemini gang? Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to read your tarot cards here today. Here on YouTube, guys, I do general messages, so do keep in mind not every single message will resonate with every single one of you out there. Come in with realistic expectations, an open heart, an open mind, and ultimately take away the messages that serve you, that motivate you, empower you, inspire you. Your commitment to something is being shown here. What are you committing yourself to? And what are you afraid to commit yourself to, Gemini? Yeah, open heart, open mind, release what doesn't serve you, assume it's going out to someone else. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's do it. Let's get some Gemini energy here. All right. I'm going to split the deck this time. All right, so current situation, the star. So you may be going through some sort of process of healing or feeling like you're sort of doing a reassessment to align to your path forward. You may have recently been through a tower moment or some sort of obstacles that it maybe just shook things up a little bit. It doesn't have to be a tragedy. It doesn't have to be a travesty. It doesn't have to be something that was absolutely life-changing, but more or less this is sort of like aligning to your higher purpose. And I'm sort of seeing compasses. So I don't know if travel is going to be important to some of you, but finding your true north. Let's say it like that. So where are you coming from? You're coming from a place of joy and freedom. So it's possible that a period of freedom, especially for those who maybe during the whole quarantine thing, found their true calling, or even just participated in something that brought them a sense of freedom and joy and liberation. Honoring the inner child, spending time with children, possibly something with a Leo, reconnecting with a Leo, or if Leo is very strong in your chart, Gemini, it could be that you tapped into that area. And by that, I mean if Leo rules a certain part of your birth chart, right? Maybe it has to do with your family life, maybe it has to do with your career, maybe it has to do with your wishes and dreams and hopes. These are big cards. So then let's see where you're headed. Reciprocity, giving back. Yeah, it's really interesting because these two cards are opposites on the zodiac wheel in terms of the zodiac signs they represent. This is very Aquarian by nature, and this is very Leo-esque. So opposite signs of the zodiac, this is about self-expression. There's more of a focus on the self with Leo. They're sort of very creative, very buoyant. Look at it in terms of the sun. Everything revolves around that. So, and it's not to say this is bad, but in a term, ego is very present with the sun. It's like how you thrive, grow your vitality. Becoming the main focus of your life, whereas this the Aquarian energy is more about the other. Aquarians don't necessarily need to position themselves as the leader of the pack in front of everybody. They tend to be more comfortable and excel utilizing their natural God-given skills and abilities to sort of blend in and form like a merging of groups. So it's interesting going from something maybe more independent to something among a greater group of people. Some of you may have just tapped more into your spirituality, and you're finding groups of like-minded individuals. And so there's nothing bad about these cards, but it's almost going from thinking you were the only one who loves to do that thing to being like, oh my gosh, I'm finding my people. You know, it's not just one star in the sky, it's many. And I would argue both are sort of stars, or what do we call them? There's a word we refer to as like the sun and the moon, because technically they're not planets, but we call them, what is it? It's like luminescence or lunary bodies. I'm missing the word. I apologize. It'll probably come to me in a little bit, but there's something about finding your tribe, finding your pack, or finding your calling. And even if you are someone who resonates more independent, entrepreneurial spirit, I would say you're finding your clients then. You're finding your group of people. And whatever it is, your skills, your abilities, you're giving them back. You're giving back to the community. There's a very humanitarian aspect to both of these cards, I would argue. I believe this card represents the moon in Taurus, so it's about sort of nourishing with goods, with even maybe your body, nourishing your own body, nourishing the lives, the bodies, the mouths, right? If you're doing sort of charity work, you know, donating to shelters or food drives or something. It doesn't have to be that. Certainly, I would say that's sort of a major message that's coming through, but whatever it is you tapped into during a period of solitude, it seems like you're bringing that to light and bringing it to your followers, to the community, to people around you. So really cool. So then what is, let's throw something on this, the star card. The challenge or focus of this in the present with the star. Let's see. the decision to move forward and not question yourself, to move forward with confidence, to move forward with clarity as much as you have it, right? Because a lot of times in life, there are no clear yes or no answers. There's sort of that gut intuition, that gut feeling, that impulse that I'm meant to do this. And this is almost, I see this as not needing to explain yourself to everyone. You sort of know intuitively that this is your path forward, even if it may defy logic a little bit. For me, this is like no bullshit. And I'm not saying that it's not an attack on you, just this king. He's not the king of wands. He's not the king of, creativity, spirituality. He's not the king of pentacles where it's all about money and order and finances. He's the king of thought. He's the king of wisdom. He's the king of communications. He excels in things regarding literature, text, spoken word, excellent speech. I'm hearing speech writers. That's funny. Spokesperson, anything to do with like the law, anything to do with, again, the written word, books, literature, novels, things of that sort. So it's air energy, right? So the same as you, Gemini. You have two very important Aquarian cards here. So I'm wondering if anything in your current situation has to do with speaking to an Aquarius or something to do with a medical field or medical profession. Yeah, humanitarian type stuff. Yeah, I think this is saying releasing the need to have to feel like you need to explain yourself to others, because ultimately it's not their path, it's your path, it's your unique path. So while I feel like this is actually super positive, that you're going to find your tribe of people, your soul family, right? Whether it's by blood or just by commonalities, familiarity, something you guys share in common. You don't need to explain to the riffraff. You don't ever need to explain yourself because you have just as much right to be here as everyone else does. And I think it's just coming to that conclusion confidently. Yeah, not second guessing yourself. And committing to your freedom. The King of Swords is the great liberator. Anything that doesn't serve him, he takes its sword, he brings it down, and he sets something free so that it doesn't get held up, right? And I think that's what this card is calling you to see as well. And I mean, technically it's coming up in your foundation, possibly in your past or something you're still sort of immersed in, right? I'm sort of looking at this as, past, present, future. So this is maintaining that sense of freedom and not holding yourself back, not allowing other people in your life to hold you back. Because here's what this says to me. Whatever it is you're looking to do, you're putting good on this earth. You're meant to do it because you're sharing a piece of yourself, your unique talents and gifts. Maybe you're meant to entertain the masses, right? Even if it's not humanitarian, you are providing something to others that nourishes them. But also it nourishes you. It fuels your internal fire. So this is sort of coming to some sort of conclusion that maybe it was just written in the stars. Maybe it does defy logic a little bit, or maybe it contradicts what you originally thought your path forward was meant to be. But if you see value in it and you enjoy it, like, why the hell not? Yeah, okay. So what is hindering you? What is something maybe you need to move away from or let go of, or something that's serving as an obstacle in the coming weeks? What is the hindrance here, if any? We'll see what comes up. And then we'll do what is the help. So for Gemini, what is the hindrance here? Your assessment, you not being sure of it, you not being necessarily confident in your decision to move forward. So I think what's important to recognize with the Seven of Pentacles, and I did touch on this earlier, there is a sense of mystery. Will you reap what you sow? I mean, I would offer eventually, because that's sort of like, excuse me, if I'm looking at this as past, present, future, something comes back around, you get enjoyment out of providing something, like some like crops grow from what you have planted. But yeah, this is questioning yourself. Did I do it right? Am I ready for this? You already know the answer to that. And I think I'm almost wanting to say you need to stop waiting for it to all make sense, because there's a very good chance not everything in your environment, not all the people in your life are going to be going, yeah, come on, like, it's almost like you're looking for a cheerleader that doesn't exist, or you're looking for a life coach, and maybe some of you are. Maybe that's exactly what this is, counseling or therapy or wisdom, any sort of divine guidance or wisdom. The messages are all around you that you are going to be privy to now. That information that you're allowed to be privy to, it's already there. So I'm sort of getting, there isn't going to be this huge influx or this huge flood of more information that makes the decision easier. You have to get comfortable with making a decision based on the facts you know and the things you don't know. Because I just keep getting, it's not going to be spelled out. But I'm almost getting, are you going to deny your inner child this path forward, this fun journey, simply because, I don't know, you can't quite wrap your head around what it will become? Maybe there's a lot of loose ends here. Maybe it's like you're looking for the final destination when it was never about that. It's about your journey forward. So I guess be open to, I guess, flexibility, but be open to like wonderful surprises along the way that maybe it's like, I just keep getting, they were never meant to be spelled out for you. This is a journey of discovery. Because you're going to meet very significant people in your path forward, and it may change your trajectory ever so slightly, but there's nothing wrong with that. The High Priestess always says, trust your gut, listen to your intuition. And also, she's sort of the secret woman. She doesn't really speak. She relays messages from the divine, or receives messages from the divine intuitively, unspoken, not with words. Isn't that interesting that you have sort of that dynamic of, again, the activist, the one who uses their mental, vocal, communicative abilities, and then you have someone who relies on their gut impulse, their intuition, their ease in connecting to the divine and to what is out there, something much greater that, again, it sort of defies logic. It's hard to pin it down and be like, this is this and that is that. This is someone that can get very wrapped up in the science behind it and not focus as much on the spiritual aspects of it. Does that make sense to any of you guys out there? And you get this message all the time, Gemini. I don't mean to, put you in a box and say, oh, well, you're an air sign, so you're always stuck in your head. But that message does come up a lot for a reason. So I guess I'm just tossing it out there. Does that mean something to you? Where are you stuck in your head, and where do you need to release and just sort of have blind faith? If I love this, if it makes me happy, and not only that, I'm putting something out into the world that other people benefit from, what is there to second guess here? Well, I don't have all the answers. You're right, you don't. Are you still going to do it? Like, what are you letting hold you back? Movement forward. I may have repeated this from last week, but I read something recently and it just really stuck with me. And so I'm always quick to admit I'm very much like a student of life, right? Just because I'm reading tarot cards, it doesn't mean I have all the answers. I'm still going through similar things that all the zodiac signs are too. But I read something that spoke to me, so I just wanted to share it with you. And it was essentially, whatever you're trying to get started, whatever you're trying to get the ball rolling on, you can think until you're blue in the face, but essentially, even without having all the pieces and all the information, action, forward movement actually leads to insight and motivation. And I think a lot of times we think of it as the opposite. Well, I'm going to sit here and contemplate until I get the answers, and then I'm going to move on it. And again, this just really spoke to me because I related to it, the idea that I'm just sitting here and I'm not being productive as much as I'm, trying to think myself out of this problem. Perhaps thinking yourself out of the problem isn't the solution. It's acting out of the problem and then getting the answers as they come. It's about taking action. Swift, rapid action. It frequently denotes travel. It's sometimes considered Cupid love arrows. So then, let's see here. So then what is the help available to Gemini? What is something that is already easily or readily available to them that maybe they're overlooking or not investing enough time and energy in? If this is the hindrance, being stuck in thought, what is the help? What is the asset? What is the benefit currently to Gemini? Opportunity, an ace in the hand, a golden opportunity, a chance to build, a chance to start fresh, a chance to start new. Aces always start with ourselves, but they, in metaphor or in their depiction almost represent this hand from God, like, hey, would you like to come down this path? Do you want to take advantage of it? And I know some of you are like, I want to, but I don't know if I'm ready. Well, I'm not here to tell you when you're ready, Gemini. Only you know, but the High Priestess says, you know the answer. You know the answer that's ready. And I have to be honest, because this is coming up as your advice, or I'm sorry, not your advice, your help. What is available to you, an asset, something that is going to help you follow through on whatever trajectory this is, the opportunity, the new opportunity, the golden coin. For some of you, it may be that money you saved is what's going to help bring this to fruition. Yeah, the idea you have about money is helpful. So for some of you, it may be saving money. Something that is lucrative. Maybe that's what this is saying. Maybe by launching the business or launching the site, maybe the help available to you is that it's going to help you get out of debt. It's going to help you financially in some way. Where are you afraid that this is going to impede upon your freedom? I would also ask, because that's the thing. You're coming from a place where, you know, you all have different storylines going on, but this is a very joyous card. So if this is what we're building on, again, it's like, are you afraid to lose what was creative, what was fun, what was exciting? Is there a need to be more serious? Is there a thought that it's time to settle down and stop being so silly? I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think you're being asked to follow through with your heart's calling, and make sure you're setting yourself up for stability of some kind. You don't have to be a millionaire, right? But you have to be able to provide not only for others, but for yourself. So can you move forward? This does feel very career-esque, I'm not going to lie, but if it relates in another area of your life, fantastic. This feels like make sure you're balancing what you get from this as well as what others get from this, but this just feels like a good opportunity. It feels divinely guided with the star. You were always meant to land here. You were always meant to encounter this important decision. Make no mistake about it, it's important, but I almost get there could be such an ease to just sort of surrendering to the divine's plan if, again, your heart is in on it. If you guys are dead set against, I don't want to do this might not be your message, because I just keep wanting to say you get something out of it. It seems like it's like now is the time to fly. You're a peacock. You gotta let me fly, right? That's a stupid movie reference. Sorry, but okay, let's use this. Cocoon to the butterfly. You're out of the cocoon. You know this to be true, but I think some of you got very comfortable or safe without embracing this new change of the cycle. But it's like, the time has cometh. And I don't say that in a fearful way, like you're going to miss out on this opportunity. I think this message has come up a lot this week. I think divine, universe, God, source, spirit, they want you to make the decision to move forward with this. You've already planted the seeds. It's just you're in that in-between of, but will it reap the harvest I desire? Well, rather than waiting and seeing, keep creating it, keep building. So maybe if this area doesn't pop the way you thought it would, maybe something else will work out. Maybe you don't need to commit yourself to one thing, the individual, the one website. Maybe you go and start a YouTube channel. Maybe you write the novel, but then you also explore, your blog online. Do you know what I mean? Maybe because this card, individual to group mentality, there's something to be gained in either multiple avenues you take this down, or possibly interacting with new people, some sort of collaboration. You're stepping into your star power. What does that mean to you guys? You're stepping into your star power. A doorway has already presented itself. You can see it. It's just a matter of, do you want to walk through? This is like, representing the Garden of Eden. It's pretty lush and beautiful in there, but you're never going to know until you go in. You're never going to know until you try. I would even say this whole reference to the Garden of Eden, there's temptation to try, but again, where are you talking yourself out of it? Healing. Some of you may be afraid to try. You may be casting a black shadow over this of, but what if this happens? What if that happens? The thing is, I feel like you guys have contemplated this until you are blue in the face, or whatever that expression is. This is a card of healing. And it's also a card of spending a lot of mental energy on this dilemma, on this solution, on this opportunity, on this problem. I almost wanted to say there's always going to be reasons why you shouldn't. But does that truly mean you shouldn't? Or are those just sort of fictitious narratives or responses, decisions you're creating to validate not wanting to move forward? Because in a sense, maybe it's more comfortable here. Maybe it's more familiar. Maybe it's more, I don't know, reasoning why you should stay, but it's like you're blocking yourself of this expression that I think you so desperately need. There's a need to express yourself here. And I would even offer too, for some of you, I know this isn't going to make sense literally, there's something about what you're offering to the world provides healing. It nourishes people who need that. So again, especially something in like medicine or humanitarian events. But again, you need to think outside the box, a more creative solution. What you provide brings joy to people who need it. And that's all you need to know. That's what this opportunity is. You have a gift in your hand and you're offering it to people who need it. This seems important. It seems like the universe wants you to take advantage of this opportunity because other people benefit from it. Not only you, because again, this storyline indicates you seem to enjoy it. So what's the holdup? You're the holdup. And you will be for as long as you want to be. Maybe you just need to start looking at it from another perspective rather than what am I risking? What would I be losing by doing this? What would everybody else around me be losing by me not sharing my gift with the world? Ooh, Gemini. That feels good. That feels important. How are we doing for time? 21. All right. This feels very career-esque, but this may have to do with the love reading, right? If it does, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear that. I'm going to pull some quick cards for you on love. Let's do this one. Why not? Leo and Aquarius are coming through here for zodiac signs, so possible collaborations. Maybe you're moving away from a Leo to have a conversation with an Aquarius. Maybe you're cutting out one to move towards the other. Maybe the three of you are going to join a nice little team and you're going to kick ass out in the career field together. I don't know why visually my eye loves these together. There's just something about the shape of them, the heart and the coin, and like the very bright colors. I don't mean this in some mysterious way, like I'm a tarot reader so I can interpret this more than, like, no, I love those next to each other. There's just something about the splash of color in the center. These two are very much connected. Does this opportunity force you to heal something in yourself in order to come out and present yourself to the world again? Are you delaying internal healing that needs to happen? Because it feels safer to hide yourself away. I'm just curious. This is the entertainer of the zodiac. Leos, they need to be seen. They need to thrive. Gemini, I say this with love, but I feel like there's a part of you that scares the shit out of you to be so accessible to the public, to put yourself out there. Yeah, you don't need to. This is beautiful. I like that. Okay. For love, let's connect with either a new group of Geminis or Geminis out there who want to hear about love. What is a storyline I can tell them about specifically their romantic life? Let's make this not platonic. Let's make this romantic, sexual love. And Geminis, you're like, you have my attention. Please proceed. Well, hey, look at you. Knight of Cups, bringing change and movement into our life in the arena of love. If I'm doing a love reading, he's definitely one of my favorite knights to see. So he or she. They carry love with them wherever they go. Hopeless romantic, very dreamy, very whimsical, very creative, very sensitive, artist type vibes. And then Two of Swords. Oh, so someone's trying to come in, but you're denying them. You've put your wall up. You're blocking it. Or you don't want to believe it's true, or you're not interested. So, I mean, how does this end? So what comes after this, please? The Three of Cups. So you do get together. And then why the blocking? Why is Gemini so opposed to this or not wanting to admit it, not wanting to see it, refusing that it could be true? What's the deal here? The Six of Cups. Because you're still holding on to someone from the past. Some of you, I have to be honest, obviously this won't be everyone's message, but for some of you, it feels like you're just not at a place where you're wanting to date or you just haven't met the right person. So for some of you, it has nothing to do with holding on to someone from the past and romanticizing it. For some of you, it's like in a very straightforward matter, it's like someone may present you with an offer, ask you out, whatever, will you move in? And for whatever reason, you're just, I feel from a very positive place, you're like, no, thank you. I'm not ready for that step yet. But this says to me, I'm living my best life though. I'm really happy with where I'm at. So again, you're going to know if this is your message, because if some of you are desperately hoping for love and there's no offer, well, there is an offer here, but you guys reject it, because this is almost like I'd rather be single and happy than depressed in a relationship where it's lacking love. It's not living up to my expectations. It's not meeting my expectations. That's for some of you, right? Others of you with the Six of Cups, it can indicate a person from the past. So it's very possible that there's someone from the past. I don't know if you guys dated or were just old friends. They may be approaching you or coming in soon and you just don't see it coming. It's like you have your blinders on because maybe you're very fixated on career stuff right now. There could be someone from the past, college, high school, whatever, fill in the blank, that old job you worked for a month or two. someone coming in who definitely has love in their heart for you or wants to ask you out. They're intrigued by you. They want to flirt with you. Yeah, it could come out of nowhere when you're not expecting it. It's almost like your back is turned towards this knight, so that could be a happy surprise. That's another way I could interpret this. So, all right, Gemini. Let's ask one more thing about this Knight of Cups. What is the best thing I can tell Gemini about this Knight of Cups? And feel free to reverse the roles, right? If you strongly resonate with water signs, this could be you approaching someone from your past. In fact, I'll ask for that. If Gemini is moving forward, thank you, with a love offer, Ace of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles. Ooh, so Five of Pentacles to me is usually hardship and rejection. Are you approaching someone from the past who already rejected you because you've leveled up, you've nurtured yourself more, so you come in and you have more to offer? It's possible, but I would still offer this person, if you're the one approaching with a love offer, they don't see it coming. In fact, they still may be getting over some sort of relationship where they were broken up with or feeling very lackluster in love. But what's interesting, though, is the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles make 6, and that's exactly where you're headed. The Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity. Getting back what you didn't, what you weren't able to accept before. It could be that your timelines crossed, and at the time a love offer was being made, and for one reason or another, someone wasn't able to accept it in their life. They didn't have room for it. They didn't have love for themselves, so how could they possibly love someone else? Again, if this is truly meant to be, that love offer will come back around again, whichever side of this you are on, I think. Yeah, I just think that's very interesting that in this spread, that's where you're headed. It's almost like your future card. And the 5 and the 1, it's like something was a little bit wacky or messed up before, but someone approaches it with a fresh new pentacle. The 5 and the 1 make the 6. And so it's more balanced. It's evenly balanced now. This person is able to give where they weren't before. But is the person willing to receive it? That's sort of the question. Tell me one more thing about this Knight of Cups. The 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, this person is looking to team up. This person is looking to collaborate. This person may also be worried that they have competition. I don't actually get any sort of shadiness about they're trying to like mix themselves into a group when they know that you're taken. I think this person is intimidated, especially for, I know this sounds odd, but like my Geminis feel like you're always out in big social groups. It's like there's never a moment alone with you. This person, I think, is trying to get a pulse on when they could, not in a dangerous way, but like corner you and be like, oh, hey, Gemini, can I talk to you for a second? Because you always have people around you. It's like you're never alone. So this person, it's like they're trying to find their way in, but they may be waiting because it's like it's never the right time. You may already know this person, especially if they're in a friends group, and it's like, yeah, it's like this person has been wanting to ask you out for possibly months, and they just, the scenario is never quite right for them because they build it up in their head to be this very beautiful, dreamy moment between you, and it never, the opportunity never lends itself to be that, so they're sort of holding back until the time is right. But I do like this. You do have very good cards. And there could be multiple offers coming. I would offer some of you, there's an offer coming through that you're like, no thanks. But again, it's not really I hate you. It's not spiteful in any way. It's just like, I don't have room in my life for that right now. So thank you anyway. Like that's really the vibe I get. But I think that's empowered. I think that's cool. You know where where you have time and effort and energy to put into things. And right now, for some of you, a relationship is not your main focus. So ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, Gem, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me here today. Please remember to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next Thursday for more tarot. Bye, Gem.